Dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. A gracious welcome to you all on the third and pre-quarter round of the very first inter-school English debate competition organized by Bangladesh Television Chattogram Center. Have you heard about the three gates of speech? According to this very old proverb, your words should pass through these three gates before you speak them out. At the first gate, you should be asking yourself, is it true? At the second gate, ask yourself, is it necessary? And at the final gate, you should be asking yourself, is it kind? Now, I believe that this principle is not only important for everyday speech, but also for debating as well. As debaters raise their voices to make an argument, keeping these 3 points in mind is very important because it makes them sound more polite and convincing, at the same time increases the chances of acceptance of their points by the other team. Dear audience, I really hope the debaters here today are clever enough and smart enough to use this strategy and make their points in this debate. On that very good note, I, your host, Prapanti Chakrabarti, would love to invite you all to come along and enjoy our very lively debate competition participated by two competed teams. Today, the selected motion for the debate competition is: to solve traffic jams, improving public transport systems is more effective solution than other alternatives. The team for the motion belongs to Chittagong Government Girls High School. The team against the motion belongs to Mymensingh Girls Cadet College, Mymensingh. Speakers for the motion are Isfar Tasnia, Sneha Firdaus, Nujhat Serena Priyonti. Speakers against the motion are Cadet Samira, Cadet Rafa, Cadet Tatria. The honorable adjudicators of today's session are Mohammed Abdul Majid, ex-debater, Accounts and Audits Officer, Government of the Public Republic of Bangladesh. Firdaus Ara, Deputy Manager, GPH Ispat Limited. Mohammed Nasiruddin, former President, North-South University Debate Club and Director, Woodpecker. The topics on which our honorable judges are going to assign marks in the constructive round are Presentation 5, Language and Pronunciation 10, Presentation of Theory and Information 15, Argumentation and Rebuttal 10. The topics on which our honorable judges are going to assign marks in the rebuttal round are Presentation 5, Language and Pronunciation 5, Argumentation and Rebuttal 20. Dear viewers, now I would love to introduce our honorable moderator of today's program, who will be conducting the entire competition and announce the results at the end. The honorable moderator of today's competition is Dr. A.M. Junaid Siddiqui, Professor, Department of Pathology and Parasitology, Chattogram Veterinary and Animal Science University. Now, I would most humbly like to request you, sir, to come up on the stage and take your seat. Before we start the debate, I would like to inform you about the order and time allocation of each debater. Each debater will get 5 minutes to present his or her speech. An alarming bell will ring on the 4th minute and the final bell will ring on the 5th minute. In the rebuttal round, both the team leaders will get 2 minutes each. Alarming bell will ring on 1.5 minute and the final bell will ring on the 2nd minute. Dear audience, before we get on to the competition, I would like to inform you that from now onwards, you can not only watch our episodes on your television set, but also on Facebook and YouTube. Tune in on facebook.com/btvchattogram and www.youtube.com/@btvchattogram. Now, I most humbly would like to request our honorable moderator to preside over the competition and start the debate.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum and welcome everybody to this very interesting debate, first inter-school English debate competition 2023. As we came to know that the topic of today's debate will be to solve traffic jams, improving public transport system is a more effective solution than other alternatives. I would like to request the speaker from the Chattogram Govt Girls High School who will speak for the motion. May I request Isfar Tasnia to give her speech.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me this floor. Bangladesh is a third world country where we always see inflation happening, economic crisis happening. In this country, most of the people live from hand to mouth. 1 person in 4 people is illiterate. 90% people disobey rules and laws which are traffic related. Source BD News 2022. Creating public awareness is not an easy task in this country. As a developing country, various projects and mega projects are being made in our country. But the question is, how much benefit do we get through this? For this answer, let us look at the transportation system of Bangladesh. Traffic jam is now a major problem in this transport system. Vehicle speed in Dhaka city is less than walking speed. The flyovers, which were built to reduce traffic jam, is now the cause of increasing it. Why? Because all these flyovers means projects have been constructed without proper planning. This development project is not sustainable or important when it's unplanned. It brings harm more than good. When we look at the developments, we can see any coordination of one project with other. As a result, we see improvements do occur, but these are sporadic. This scattered development can't be the solution of our problem. For instance, the route of the metro rail that was built in Dhaka city is completely crooked. It's not ideal for movement. The whole Dhaka is now covered with flyovers where people are losing half duration of their life stuck in Dhaka's traffic jam. These improvements can benefit us only when these improvements are being made with proper planning. We believe that in this situation, improving public transport system is very important. From this perspective, today our motion is to solve traffic jams. Improving public transport system is a more effective solution than other alternatives. For very logical, actual and factual causes, I'd like to establish our position in favor of this motion. Our moderator, the words that demand to be described in this debate are traffic jam, a more effective solution, public transport system. Traffic jam is a long line of vehicles that can't move or that can only move very slowly because there is so much traffic on the road. Public transports mean those transports or vehicles which are not privately owned. All classes of people get equal opportunity for their need in these public transports. A system which is created by focusing on public transport is public transport system. There are 2 points in the description of public transport system. Point number 1, public transport like bus, train, Laguna, metro rail or any types of local vehicles. Point number 2, the routes on which vehicles move like roads, airways, railways, waterways, etc. By more effective solution, we say that the causes of traffic jam are many, but the main causes of traffic jam is excess of vehicles. Other causes are lack of parking place, insufficient traffic police, unlicensed vehicles, traffic rules, etc. But today our learned opponent maybe say that traffic jam may be reduced by prevent these causes, these other causes. We don't deny this. But if you can solve the main problem, which is excess of vehicles, then other prevention won't work to solve it. To reduce excess of vehicles, improving transport system is a must, and other causes will be prevented by solving the main problem. Today we will show you 2 arguments. The argument number 1 is improving the quality of public transport. Argument number 2, bringing transport routes in a system and improving traffic routes. when the condition of Bangladesh public transport system is such that there are no facilities, vehicles can't move due to holes, people get sick while traveling in public transport, at that time we obviously say that improving public transport system is a must. When the problem is about private vehicles and routes, of course, we have to ensure that we can improve our public transport system. Thank you, Honorable Moderator.
Now, I would like to invite against the motion from Mymensingh Girls Cadet College, Cadet Samira.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the evening news of the highlights. In Indonesia, in the Brexit junction, there have been a traffic jam that have been lasted from 3rd July to 6th July, and the country facing 3 days long traffic jam causes the death of 12 people. The details of the situation would be narrated after the short break. Thank you. Okay, I was just talking about a news report from Indonesia when the country faced 3 days long traffic jam in 2016. And you know what's funny here? The same country, Indonesia, has 5 different varieties of your public transport system and ranked as 3rd in using the best public transport system in Asia. So the question obviously arrives, why Indonesia faced 3 days long traffic jam and why your improved public transport system couldn't solve the jam in Indonesia? Honorable Moderator, judicious panel of judges, thank you for giving me the floor. The motion for today's debate is to solve traffic jams. Improving public transport system is a more effective solution than other alternatives, and my team stand firmly against the motion. As my learned opponent left some misconceptions and that were diverged in a biased way, so I as the first speaker would be redefining those misconceptions. Our second speaker will be explaining the fact, and lastly, our third speaker will diverge us to the broaden to the biggest solution. And my dear opponents, I really appreciate your effort how you try to depict the motion, but I like to clarify a few on a broader perspective. Honorable Moderator, if you look into the topic, we can divide it into 3 distinct concepts. First, solutions to the traffic jam and solutions to the problem created because of traffic jam. Second, improvement of public transport system, which means to service them with frequent service, then the decrease of total travel time, and thirdly, the most important part is to maintain the safety. And the part that mentions that it is a more effective solution than the other alternatives makes me question your judgment, because it's never clearly better than other alternatives. And I'm sure you'd be willing to acknowledge the root causes of traffic congestion ranked by the Govt, and they are rapid urbanization and population growth, poor road infrastructure, narrow roads, and most importantly, non-enforcement of traffic laws. And today we will be showing how the combination of 3 key factors along with the others, namely implementation of traffic law, congestion charges, and raising people's awareness, are actually effectively reducing traffic congestion, the part you've bravely ignored, my learned opponents. Honorable Moderator, according to the BRTS report from 2010 to 2021, the rate of public transport system in Dhaka have been increased by 25%, but its contribution in reducing the traffic jam is minus 1.5%. Also, the metro rail you talked about, let me inform you, according to the business standard, the idea that traffic congestion problem will have a permanent solution as long as the metro rail is inaugurated is therefore just a myth. I repeat, just a myth. Also, it says that metro rail did not stop our traffic apocalypse. Also, the business standard states that the worst traffic in history has been created in China on 11th August in 2020, along with the 100-kilometer long national highways, which lasted for 12 days straight. Another research says that China is ranked as the first for best public transport system among all the countries. So why, my dear opponents, China have been using the best public transport system all over the world, so why they have faced 12 days straight traffic jam? Dear opponents, isn't it like a chemistry practical? Like, everybody seems to know what the answer is gonna be. If talking nicely doesn't get the job done, we take the hefty roof. And that's how the congestion charge came to being. The ULEG, or the Ultra Low Emission Zone project, introduced in central London in 2019, not only successfully reduced traffic jam to 33%, but also helped to reduce the transport nitrous oxide emission by 35% and the carbon dioxide emission by 6%. And the fact is here that the most London people support the system because they have found it more effective effective than other solutions. Honorable opponents, are you still going to convince yourself by saying public transport system is everything we need? In this world of democracy, if the world says the sun rises in the west, would it become true? Common sense would obviously say no, but I'm not quite sure about my opponents. They might say yes. Well, I'm pretty sure what I presented today here on the stage clearly make a general people understand that improving public transport system is just a mere solution, a mere help to the other big alternative solutions we have proposed, and they are implementation of traffic law, congestion charges, and raising people awareness. And I assure you, if we can implement these three ways in 100%, the traffic jam would obviously reduce. With this, I'd like to conclude my speech here. Thank you.
May I request Sneha Firdaus, the second speaker, who will speak for the motion from Chattogram Government Girls High School.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the chance to speak. Honorable Moderator, I would like to ask a question at first. If a road can have two vehicles running on it, suppose, and third number car comes from another route and it has to overtake the first road's cars. If you do not have the minimum space, what will proper law and sufficient traffic do? What will public awareness do? What is the solution? Please answer. Secondly, it is quite funny that our learned opponent started their debate with Indonesia and China, while Bangladesh is a third world country. Honorable Moderator, thank you, Honorable Moderator. Today, the reasons why we are standing for the motion, there are some reasons why we are standing for the motion. Number one is improving the quality and quantity of public transport system. Number two is bringing transport routes into a system and improving traffic roads. Our first speaker has given a clear theory why we are standing for the motion. Now I'm explaining the first reason. When you will improve the quality and the quantity of public transport system, you will get this kind of solutions. One, making people's life more easier. Two, being able to make more space on road. Three, improved and better driving system. Honorable Moderator, please note the number of private car in Dhaka is over 1.8 million. There are such families who have 10 different cars for each 10 members. And this number will increase day by day if any kind of step is not taken. This huge number of cars face each other on the road, which basically do not have so much space to bear this amount in this overpopulated country. And because of this, traffic jam occurs. Every day, 2 to 3 hours of work time is wasted because of this, especially in Dhaka, which is considered as the second largest city according to the traffic jam. So what is the solution? The main solution is to improve public transport system. Why? Honorable Moderator, have you ever thought why do people prioritize private cars more than public ones? Because public transport facilities and its quantity is not enough according to the demand, such as taking excessive passengers on bus, train, subways, having less space in Laguna Tempu, not having licensed cars, etc. Not being able to ensure proper security, etc. When you will improve this public transport system and solve these problems, people will automatically start to use public transports. Then the amount of private car on road will be lessened. Thus, this road will be more clear and spaced, which will lessen traffic jam a lot. Plus, when private cars will be reduced, the parking lots will be more cleared. That will give you a lot more space, because not having proper parking lot is one of the biggest reasons of traffic jams. Honorable Moderator, so basically some of the biggest reasons of traffic jam, like excessive amount of private cars and not having enough public transports, when this will be solved, traffic jam will be lessened in its own way. Our third point was another biggest reason of traffic jam is unexpected, unexperienced, uneducated and non-licensed drivers. Every day various kinds of accident occurs because of drivers' fault, just because of they are unexperienced. They do not have the proper knowledge how to run a vehicle or a car, any kind of transportation. When you will improve public transport system, you will have to give them the proper training, you will have to give them the proper learning that how they will run this kind of transportations. And when you will able to successfully give that, you will also when you will be able to ensure qualified drivers for these vehicles, you will get rid of another cause of traffic jam, another biggest cost. Honorable moderator, we are not saying that it is the only reason improving public transport system is the only reason of traffic jam. Not having proper overbridges, then roadside stalls, unaware passers-by, having no cooperation among authorities like WASA, BTCL, and other institutions, etc., are also responsible for traffic jam. But on a secondary basis, if you talk about the main reason will always be not having enough space, which will broaden only by improving public transport. So, honorable moderator, we had basically 2 points. One is improving the quality and quantity of public transport system, and number 2 was bringing transport routes into a system and improving the traffic routes. My first speaker and I have cleared the first point, that how can improving the quality and quantity of public transport system can reduce the traffic jam, or can be the main solution of reducing traffic jam. Our captain will make you understand the third reason, bringing transport routes into a system and improving traffic routes, can be the second reason to improve traffic problems, to solution traffic problems. Thank you, honorable moderator.
Thank you, Sneha, for those. May I request our second speaker against the motion, Cadet Rafa from Mymensingh Girls Cadet College.
Behold, the name of Nigeria, the country that has a huge variety of public transport system, including 5 different ways. It also has transportation systems such as cabs, buses, taxis, and ride-sharing services. You all want to hear a joke? It's the same country that has been ranked number 1 in terms of traffic jam, according to Traffic Jam Index 2023. Most honorable moderator, thank you for giving me the floor. My dearest opponent, thank you for understanding my point. You've said in major roads of cities, main congestion is due to huge influx of privately owned vehicles in Bangladesh. Metro Rail was made to clearly solve this problem, and as you've accepted, Metro Rail does not provide last mile connectivity. Thank you for accepting it, because private car owners did not and will not stop using their vehicles. Because likewise, as you've accepted, Metro Rail does not provide last mile connectivity. Well, so we're stuck in the same loophole. Likewise, my dear opponent, you've questioned my judgment on the topic, but let me question you. If improving public transport system can solve all our problems, then as my first speaker has already mentioned, in a country like China, where they have been ranked as the top 10 most best public transport system, how come they have experienced 12-day-long traffics? I repeat, 12-day-long traffics. And do you realize this is happening solely for inappropriate design and mismanaged arrangement of road? So thank you for understanding, my dear opponent, but I think you don't realize the true definition of what public transport system is. Let me redefine. According to Harvard University, public transport system means vehicles, things that can move, such as airplanes, buses, cabs, taxis, not roads. I repeat, not roads. Improvement of public transport system would mean you're improving your buses, cabs, taxis, and not roads. So my dearest opponent, according to dailystar.com, with all the burden that traffic jam drags with it, I don't think we're realizing that $11.4 billion are being lost every year. 2,500 people are dying on their way to the ambulance, on the way to the hospital. And likewise, you've accepted it with a speed of less than 7 kilometers per hour. We all realize the irony that even walking is faster than the pace of those cars. So yes, what we need is a pedestrian-friendly environment. What we need is to improve non-motorized vehicles. What we need is cycling communities and promote walking. What we need is decentralization in places like Dhaka and India, so that mass people don't jump in on one chunk of a country, creating an insane rate of population growth, due to which these are actually creating factors to traffic jam.
So, my dearest opponent, according to Abu Afsarul Haidar on his paper in Daily Star, Traffic Jam, The Ugly Side of Dhaka's Development, where he expressed that the problem lies in our behavioral pattern. Thank you for accepting it. Likewise, you've been accepting all our points. I don't think you've realized that you haven't even understood the topic properly. So let me redefine. What we are trying to say is improving public transport system is obviously a good solution, most honorable moderator. I'm not denying the fact that improving public transport system is a good idea, maybe even a great idea. But like you've accepted, traffic laws, traffic rules, traffic police, the roads, if these are not right, how come you expect that improving public transport system is going to solve all our problems? So what is it going to do? Improved leather seats and an AC bus is going to solve everything? How such brilliance we've clearly missed. Because let me give a crucial example. Take Japan. Tokyo has the world's best public transport system with the top 10 most best public transport system. Still, 61.2% Japanese people allegedly report that they face traffic every day. A crucial example that you can see with your own eyes, the Jatrabari Road in Dhaka. You see that there's traffic jam on the road on top every day. And underlying that road, there's another road. But why can't we pass through? Why can't a single vehicle pass through? Because hawkers are sitting there. So yes, thank you for accepting my points, my dear opponent. Yes, we need to raise awareness. And yes, we need to implement traffic laws. With proper implementation of law, proper implementation of punishable offenses, we can see how we can solve public transport system, and I guarantee you it is better. Yes, my dear opponent. Now, after all of the suggestions you've made about improving public transport system, I'd like to question how many years, how much money, and after improving public transport system, can you guarantee that it will improve our state of traffic jam? I hope I can get all my answers, and for this, I'd like to conclude here. Thank you all.
We are going to invite the team leader of Chattogram Government Girls High School, who will be talking for the motion. May I request Nuzhat Sarina Prapanti to come up.
Honorable moderator, for giving me the floor. The topic says that to solve traffic jam, improving public transport system is a more effective solution than other alternatives. From a context of a third world country like Bangladesh, where we have so many unplanned infrastructure development, we're strongly supporting this motion. And such a perspective, the first thing we need to do to solve traffic jam is improve our public transport and improve the roads and routes that the vehicles will run in a systematic way. Honorable moderator, the opposition have showed us the example of China, Japan, or India. They are developed country, but we are standing in a country like Bangladesh, which is a third world country. Honorable moderator, we have shown you the increasing number of private cars are the main reason for traffic jam. According to the Prothom Alo, every day 688 new private cars are being added to the roads in Bangladesh. As a result, 80% of total vehicles on the roads are private cars, and which is creating a long jam daily. In this situation, we have to attract people to the public transport. Honorable moderator, now the question is why people are leaving the public transport. The main reason behind it is the current situation of your public transport is very poor. The common people feel insecure, uncomfortable, and unsatisfied with the services. So now we'll develop the public transport system for people. For example, we'll provide the closed doors, elevated seat, internet facilities, or other electrical facilities. That means we'll try to provide all kinds of facilities that in a public transport that people get in a private car. Now the question may come from the opposition that how will do that? Why will we get the budget of doing this development work? Well, as Bangladesh is already a third world country, and where is so many economic crisis and inflation going on. But moderator, if you look carefully, there is so many unplanned infrastructure development is taking place. Honorable moderator, and we are saying we'll exclude this unplanned project and transfer the budget of this project for the development of public transport. That means we don't spend any extra money. We'll just transfer the budget, project budget, where no extra economic pressure will be created on my country. But yet, the opposition don't show us how they will reduce the number of private cars by using laws or awareness. Now, if we look at the roads, then we'll see that within a year of construction of a road, either the power department or the water or BTCL start digging for their water or power line, which is creating a long jam. According to the Prothomalo, the excavation work of electricity line in Hatirjhil has been going on for 3 months, and which causes a great suffering to the people. And several places in Chattogram, such unplanned excavation work on the roads leads to traffic jam. Honorable Moderator, in our country, even there is so many rules, so many laws existing. Such acts have been going on for 100 years. So enforcement of law to stop this, just a full act, but nothing but. But here, if we can bring the structure of the road into a system like keeping a separate place on the roadside for the water line or telephone line, then there will be no difficulty to vehicular movement, even if this excavation work are done. So we are talking about the development of roads. And the moderator, a question still remains to our opposition that how can they ensure the strict implementation of law from the very highest level to the primary level from the perspective of a third world country like Bangladesh? Or that the public will follow it very strictly, how much it is guaranteed. So in conclusion, we believe that improving public transport system is obviously a more effective solution than other solution. And that's it from me. Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you all.
Now I'm going to invite last speaker from Mymensingh Girls Cadet College. I would like to request the team leader, Cadet Tajriya, to speak against the motion.
You spent 4 long days in analyzing today's motion. But do you realize, my dear opponents, we can send a man to the moon, we can cure cancer, but we cannot solve traffic jam. Well, pretty ironic, isn't it? Well, if your stance were the easiest solution, then I wouldn't be here today. Honorable Moderator, respected panel of judges, and my dearest audience who face the traffic chaos every day, greetings. I, being a leader of today's opposition team, would once again like to highlight the key points my first and second speaker already clarified, but you put to dust. And if you asked me, right, how am I going to reduce the number of private cars in Bangladesh? Well, I'm going to do that using congestion charges. And today's motion never mentioned that it is confined within Bangladesh. It is talking about a universal perspective, my learned opponents. So let's broaden our views to an international level. Firstly, Singapore. Singapore reduces traffic by 15% and maintained average speed of 30 to 40 kilometers per hour, and this success was brought in by the launch of electronic road pricing in 1998 and inspired by Singapore in 2007. Authorities of Stockholm placed 1 to 2 euros of congestion charges at the bottlenecks of their traffic, and surprisingly this fairly small charge was enough to make 20% of traffic disappear from the rush hours. And before you mention that we've still got the 80% level problem, when that's wrong, because traffic happens to be a non-linear phenomenon, meaning that if you can efficiently reduce traffic even somewhat, then congestion will go down much faster than you think. So it's better to get out of your delusions, because clearly congestion pricing has had a long history of successfully reducing traffic congestion. And Honorable Moderator, the other solutions we are putting forth is properly implementing traffic management system, such as number 1, implementing intelligent traffic system that use data and analytics to optimize traffic flow. Number 2, creating efficient traffic signal system. 3, improving training capacity of traffic police and ensuring traffic laws. And lastly, eliminating unlicensed vehicles and drivers. Well, you've asked me that why am I using the first world countries as an example? Well, Bangladesh is a third world country, and you yourself mentioned that we need a proper implementation for the budget, right? Okay. But I'm not ignoring the brilliance of public transport system, but let me give you a practical example. China, Japan, Switzerland, Thailand, and Indonesia. Well, you cannot deny that they have traffic congestion, but China and Japan are the countries that have ranked to have the top 10 most effective public transport system. Thailand ranked 15th, Switzerland ranked 5th, and Indonesia ranked 3rd in the latest Urban Mobility Readiness Index 2022. So, does improved public transport system not exist in these countries? Did improved public transport system solve the traffic congestion? They are the first world countries, my dear opponents, and improved public transport system could not solve the traffic problems of the first world countries. So how do you expect that improved public transport system will solve the problems of these third world countries of Bangladesh? And Honorable Moderator, let me take you back to public transport system. It has its financial issues, and of course it has its social sides. And ResearchGate says that public transport system that operates with only one passenger is likely to be using 4 to 10 times the amount of fossil fuel used by a private car. And if the service runs without any passengers at any stage, then the cost per passenger mile would be infinite. So you do realize, right, that the solutions you're putting forth requires extensive planning and cost, which is not feasible to all countries, unlike Bangladesh. And you have already accepted it, right? So don't imagine the imaginary in your imagination, imagining that there will be mass reduction of traffic congestion if improved public transport system becomes a neighbor next door for all walks of people. I hope you have understood my point on this very notes. I'd like to conclude my speech here. Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you, everyone.
May I request for the rebuttal phase, Nujhat Sarina Priyanti to speak for the motion from Chattogram Government Girls High School.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the floor again. Honorable Moderator, the first said that they are not counting roads in the public transport system. But Honorable Moderator, when you are improving public transport system, including roads, it's a mandatory thing because it's a part of system. It's a whole system. Honorable Moderator, then the opposition said that they will increase the tax on private cars by enforcing laws, then the number of private cars will decrease. Honorable Moderator, just look. There are so many steps they need to implement in order to enact a law. They have to form a separate number of board or team to implement this law properly, where they have to spend money separately, which will be an additional cost for Bangladesh and can never be a more effective solution. And now, Honorable Moderator, despite of having laws in our country, which plan is more effective? This is our prime concern. We never deny the other alternative solution. We're accepting this, but which is more effective? From the perspective of Bangladesh, law could never be a more effective solution because when the traffic police who enforce these traffic rules, they are corrupted, they drive from a car and let it go even after breaking the rules, it is much more impossible to solve traffic jam by using laws. That means the goal of making laws to reduce traffic jam, but it remains after 3 years, 4 years, even after 10 years. But at the same time, if we take a project to improve our public transport, maybe the project will be completed in 3 years instead of 2 years. But after 3 years, the traffic jam will be reduced. So despite having this misconcept, our plan is more effective. Now, if we look at the picture of Bangladesh, we can see that 25.34% people are still illiterate and 42% of people living below the poverty line. In this situation, this is almost impossible to make every people of your country aware about the laws that they can properly follow it. So as a whole, it may seem that law enforcement or implementation of law or other alternative solutions are effective, but considering the economic, social and national status of Bangladesh, improving the public transport system is more effective solution than to solve traffic jam. Honorable Moderator, first of all, they're showing us some example of the developed country like Japan, Indonesia or China or Singapore. But Honorable Moderator, we're standing at I again say that we're standing in a country like third world country like Bangladesh. So you have to consider this. Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you all.
Thank you, Nujhat. May I request Cadet Tajriya to come up with the rebuttal talk against the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the floor once again. So, learned opponent, you have asked me why am I giving the examples of the first world countries who have improved public transport system, but their improved public transport system could not solve the traffic jam. That's exactly why I'm giving the examples of first world countries. Bangladesh is a third world country, right? And it has its economic backwardness. So, if you really want to improve your public transport system, do you actually realize how much budget you'll be needing? And first speaker, you have said that 1 person in 4 are illiterate in Bangladesh. 90% of them, they break the traffic laws, right? You understand it, right? The solutions we are giving are exactly the implementation of traffic laws and proper planning. And my second speaker has already mentioned that improving public transport system does not mention the improvement of routes. And if you improve the buses and trains, the roads cannot drive themselves, roads cannot fly. That's a whole different concept. And yes, the second speaker has said Dhaka. Dhaka has 80% of private cars, but according to Traffic Jam Index, Dhaka has 61.2% of public transport systems, my learned opponents. And unlicensed drivers, unlicensed vehicles are also a major part of the traffic jam. And if we cannot remove this, then we cannot solve traffic jam, right? And if you're trying to say that public transport system can help reduce traffic jam, it can help people to face less traffic jam, you never mentioned how it can be so effective. You have said it over and over again that Bangladesh is a third world country. We cannot solve traffic jam by implementing and enforcing traffic laws, but we can do it by improving public transport system. And I hope we realize that improving public transport system is a major challenge for a third world country like Bangladesh, as you have said. So thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the floor. I would like to conclude my speech here. Thank you all.
We have been listening to 6 talented speakers from both the team. It is quite interesting that the problem we are talking about today is a problem not only for developing countries like Bangladesh, but also developed countries as well. Both the team have successfully tried to discuss the issues related to safe public transport and how it can be mitigated for a better living condition in a town. For example, Dhaka, a very highly crowded city, and it's not the only crowded city in the whole world. We see New York or London, a very highly populated area, and a number of mass public transports are there. So in Bangladesh context, we can relate our problem with developing country, other developed nations. For example, our speakers from against the flow motion, they have tried to example the Indonesia, Nigeria, or Singapore. So these are just for it's a lesson how to cope with the problem. So we know our roads are not that good enough. There is a lack of interconnection between different government bodies like WASA, PDV, Rajuk, or BTCL. So all the years round, there are lots of constructions going on. The government is trying to invest more and more on developing the public transport system, but still it's not enough for the safe road system. But being a citizen, it's very crucial that we follow the rules, the road safety rules. We should give good quality vehicles with good quality drivers, and citizens should follow all the traffic rules and regulations that will eventually help us to make a city with better living condition. I have now received the results of today's talk. The winner team of today is Mymensingh Girls Cadet College. I'd like to congratulate Mymensingh Girls Cadet College, and also I'd like to congratulate the opponent team for your scholastic performance today. The best speaker have been selected Cadet Tajriya from Mymensingh Girls Cadet College. Thank you, congratulations. Thank you everybody.